Here, drive on the 91 right after Wayne looks at sports.
Public sentiment is weighing against the owners in the Major League Baseball lockout. A poll conducted by Morning Consult found that 43% of respondents blamed the owners, but just 21% blamed the players. The rest, they had no opinion. Negotiations are expected to continue today as the two sides made some progress yesterday. And result for you in hockey, the Anaheim Ducks were defeated by the Chicago Blackhawks 8-3. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
SoCal weather from KFI, partly cloudy and breezy with a wind advisory in the IE today until tomorrow morning. Highs will be in the low 60s to the low 70s. Let's check that drive on the 91.
Well, I can talk about a busy section of this westbound 91. The section, I guess from the I-5 over towards the 110. Slower section, approaching the 605. Number one, the Artesia Boulevard off-ramp. It's kind of a tricky off-ramp, so be careful. But the right lane of that off-ramp is all cloned off. A lot of work going on there. Left lane's open, but you can get through, but it's kind of slow approaching. And then as you continue across past the 605 at Bellflower, it's a right shoulder problem. But a bigger problem that we're headed back to now, I just saw it a minute ago. We're passing over Cherry right now, but it was West 91 right at the 710. Carpool lane was blocked. The tow truck there with a bunch of cars, so they were about to leave, but I'm looking in the distance here. Still looks kind of slow going across. Eastbound drive looking good, and real quick want to warn you about kind of a long plane problem at this point. Going north now, up towards Lebec, North 5 Lake Hughes, be right at the crossover. As a matter of fact, two right lanes have been blocked for a long time. Rig problem, and a good solid 2-3 mile backup going through. After that, you're in pretty good shape. Jeff Barr, KFI in the sky.
Attention service contractors. Hey, it's Dean Sharp. Listen, guys, you would love to grow. You'd love to put even more technicians in the field, but you're barely keeping up with the ones that you've got, and you're wondering if growing will mean that you still own your business, or will it own you? I have an answer. Service Titan, the world's leading all-in-one software for service businesses like yours. There's a reason the most successful contractors out there, some of which are your competitors, use Service Titan. It was born in the trades. The founders watched their own fathers struggle as paper invoices and late nights kept them from time with their families. So they went looking for a solution, and when they couldn't find one, they built it themselves. Service Titan will supercharge your workflow, transform the way you do business. Your office will love it, your technicians will love it, so will your customers and your family. You've got a great service company. Now it is time to make it better. Book a Service Titan demo today at servicetitan.com. That's servicetitan.com.
Enjoy weekly produce deals at Whole Foods Market. Get 3 16-ounce strawberries for $10 through March 15th, plus an extra 10% off for Prime members while supplies last. Promotion varies by location type. See terms and exclusions on our app.
As the country bounces back from COVID and mask mandates are lifted, your business needs a lift too. Promote your company right here, right now. Radio ads connect with 93% of Americans every week. That's more than Google, more than Facebook, more than TV. In fact, radio reaches 20% more millennials than TV. Want more of the people you want to talk to all in one place? Visit iHeartAdvertising.com and get AM and FM working for you. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Joining us today, Scott Painter, CEO and co-founder of Autonomy. It's a new company. It's right here in LA that offers car subscriptions.
The whole idea behind a subscription was being able to simplify the transaction and make it easier for the customer.
Buying a car also seems so cumbersome. This seems to be a super easy way to get you into this Tesla Model 3.
You're doing the entire thing on your phone. You simply go to autonomy.com, install the app, you simply give us your driver's license and that digital form of payment, and you get either the car delivered to you or you go and pick it up. That's it.
Wow, I'm excited about it.
Did you know your ugly, cracked, stained, embarrassing driveway, patio, or walkway can actually earn you money? I'm Larry Green of System Pavers, America's #1 designer and installer of elegant outdoor living systems. This spring, love your home again and turn the old hardscapes into big savings with our free demolition and instant recycling cash credit. Call System Pavers today at 800-8004 and you will save like never before because they'll demolish and remove your old cracked concrete or asphalt for free and give you an instant recycling cash credit toward our beautiful interlocking pavers, ST turf, custom local barbecues, fire pits, and wonderful outdoor lighting. This could add up to hundreds, even thousands in savings, but you must call now at 800-PAVE-004. Don't wait. Our free demolition, removal, and instant recycling credit only applies to new orders placed by March 31st. 800-PAVE-004, 800-PAVE-004, or systempavers.com.
See website for full details. Contractor's license 661575.
There's a lot of COVID info out there, but not all of it's true. So it's important to remember the facts. Do COVID-19 vaccines give people the virus? Nope. It's actually the opposite. Vaccines teach our cells how to fight COVID-19. And just like other vaccines, COVID-19 boosters help keep our immunity strong. Share the facts, not the virus. Find a vaccine near you at myturn.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
For official rules and more information about contests of this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules. KFI. KFI AM 640 Handle morning through on a Wednesday, March 9th. Let's continue on. More Handle on news with Jennifer and Wayne and me.
A home invasion robbery up in Stockton began with somebody posing as a candy vendor. I guess going up to the door with a box of candy. Hey, we're selling candy, and it appears that the homeowner bought some candy, and then boom, 3 other people suddenly are there, and they all rush into the home and steal stuff. And they were armed, and that is very scary.
Yep, and just as several of the homeowners' personal belongings. They won't say what.
No.
Usually it's jewelry, the bunch of jewelry, cash, none of that. Can you imagine going to the door and having 3 armed people come rushing in? I mean, thank goodness these people survived that, but...
You know what I'm interested in? How old was this person? Because a lot of times, it'll be a kid selling candy for a trip. They'll come to the door with, like, chocolates or something
Good
like
point.
that.
Good point. What do you do with a middle-aged person, middle-aged man, for example? Who's selling candy? What do you go, what the hell are you doing?
That would be very strange. Oh, you guys. Just when you think you haven't heard it all. There's a guy who was arrested because he tried to smuggle 52 lizards and snakes hidden in his clothing across the U.S. border. But here's the part that made me uncomfortable. He had 9 snakes and 43 horned lizards. They were concealed in his jacket. They were in bags, in his pants pocket, and in his groin area. I ask you both, are you comfortable even if a reptile is in a bag having anything in your groin area?
It depends.
What?
Because wrong with you? Because people would pay money for that. I mean, it's suspected. Sir, when he's jumping up and down. What the hell's going on?
And I mean, weren't his pants moving? I mean,
Yeah, that's the entire point, isn't it? This is big business. Reptiles coming across the border.
Smuggling animals like that. I've got a bunch of cases. People would, exotic birds, small exotic birds, and they would put them in tubes with holes punched in and conceal them about their body. Because there's a lot of money to be made. But the other thing I want to say about this guy, because he's in big trouble for smuggling all these reptiles. And it can be, and he's definitely going to face the scales of justice.
A guy in Kansas is accused of theft. He stole 26 of something. The something? Parking meters from downtown Topeka, Kansas. As soon as I read that, I thought a cool hand loop. Oh, yes.
Yeah, there you go.
With Paul Newman taking the tops of the parking meters off. Well, apparently that's what this guy was doing, and somebody called the cops. It was like midnight, and they said, somebody's walking around with a shopping cart downtown. He might be stealing parking meters, so the officers go, and sure enough, here's this guy with some stolen parking meters. Did he put money in him, though? I don't think that was the objective. I don't think so.
Well, he took the money out of them. All right, the leader of the Proud Boys has been charged with conspiracy related to the January 6th attack, but here's the deal. He was not present at the Capitol attack, but the feds say that he was instrumental in planning the riot. He was released 2 days before the attack on separate charges that came from an incident in November 2020, and he was ordered to stay out of the Washington, D.C. area, which probably meant why he wasn't at the attack. So he was indicted yesterday on a conspiracy to obstruct charge and, obstruction of an official proceeding, as well as counts of assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers and destruction of government property. Will it be difficult to nail him on those because he wasn't there?
No.
On the assault and the resisting and all of that?
That's when they tried to arrest him. So he was there for that.
For that part, yeah. Okay.
And the conspiracy issue, that is...
Yeah, he doesn't
that's
have
the big one. Nobody has to have been there for there to be evidence that they were involved in some conspiracy.
If there's emails, if there's anything.
Exactly. And texts, and some people are other Proud Boys are turning on him.
And usually conspiracy is the worst crime. Conspiracy is usually more serious than an underlying crime, especially if the crime, the underlying crime, is not all that serious. Conspiracy puts it over the edge. That's when you're completely screwed. A police officer in Philadelphia is going to be fired, this out of an incident where he fatally shot a 12-year-old boy. Now, what happened is, these were undercover officers in plain clothes in an unmarked car. They were doing surveillance. They came up to these two juveniles, 17-year-old, they wanted to talk to him. There was a 12-year-old there. They turned the car's emergency lights on, and then the kid, the 12-year-old, fires at the car, and they hit the window. So two cops in the car, they each fire one shot. Bam, bam. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody's in trouble for that. The kid starts running. One of these cops starts chasing him, shoots him in the back. That's the problem. And that's the problem. So right now, he is suspended, but the police commissioner has already said she does intend to fire him. I guess she's waiting for the investigation to be completed, but she already knows she's going to fire him. And that just begins his problem. Because there's a criminal investigation, and this is under the color of law, because he's on duty as an undercover cop, and it is, you can't shoot people in the back, and they got away. He is in Philly that's kind of like a Gascon. I think Larry Krasner is his name. So I would expect criminal charges from the state, and the feds could step in as well with a civil rights violation. Going down pretty quickly. All right, we're going to finish it up. But first, Jennifer Jones-Lee live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Americans are being told not to fly to Ukraine unless they have a will. Thousands of people from dozens of countries have been traveling there to help Ukraine defend itself against Russia. Students from the largest high school in Florida plan to walk out this morning. They're protesting the Parental Rights and Education bill. It limits what classrooms can teach about sexual orientation and gender identity. And BMW is recalling more than 900,000 cars and SUVs, most for a third time in the U.S. To fix a problem that can cause engine compartment fires, the recall covers many 3 Series, 5 Series, 1 Series, X5, X3, and Z4 vehicles from 2006 to 2013. We'll take a look at your drive in just a second. Your SoCal weather from KFI, partly cloudy and windy today, has a range from the low 60s to the low 70s. This report is brought to you by the Auto Club of Southern California. Your drive on the 10 in just a moment.
You know, our attention right now, of course, is focused on what's going on in Ukraine, our gas prices. But inflation, I'm just talking about the prices of food, prices of rent, all of that. Inflation is here with a vengeance, but not with mortgage interest rates. That still has not been hit. And here you are with a bunch of equity in your home because your property value has gone up. Equity does nothing. Why wouldn't you borrow against that equity, and you're paying very little for that money, and invest it? Just invest it. Or remodel. It doesn't really matter because money is so cheap. And this is where HMS Capital comes in and helps you do exactly that. HMS Capital. I have done 2 mortgages with HMS Capital. I know these people, and I have no problem recommending them at all. Call 833-255-5698, 833-255-5698. Visit hmscapital.com.
SoCal weather from KFI. Partly cloudy and windy as I mentioned. Highs today from the low 60s to low 70s. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places like the 10.
Well, you made it to the city of LA, but on the west end of San Marcos, my goodness, it's a call. We're going out towards Los Angeles. We had a few problems. The bottom line is this: if you're around downtown Los Angeles, it's no contest. Washington Boulevard is like wide open. There's so many studios across the city, and the 10 is a call. I'm still looking for an issue in lanes. Haven't found it yet, so just be aware. Utah's kind of a lot better shape coming off the beach. Now, some really good news for 91. We were there for a while going towards North Long Beach. First, West 91 at Bellflower going through the shoulder. West 91 at 710 across the lane cleared. So all lanes are open, just kind of slow coming away from the 605. Jeff Bond, Fire in the Sky.
Looking to save money on auto insurance? It's easy. Get your free quote at AAA.com/insurance. You can save even more when you bundle your homeowners or renter's policy too. Visit AAA.com/insurance today for your free AAA full picture quote.
This report is sponsored by the Mission Pacific Hotel. Guests from the beach and Oceanside. Calling all foodies. Book the free drinks package at Mission Pacific Hotel in Oceanside and enjoy $100 free and beverage credit nightly. Soak up the social sunshine from the rooftop bar and discover the unique flavors of Guadalupe Valley of Fire. Look at MissionPacificHotel.com.
Inventing Anna, the official podcast, delves deeper into the story behind the Netflix series about Anna Sorokin, the fake heiress who stole the hearts and money of New York social elite, featuring conversations with the actual people who played a part in this iconic story, and series creator Shonda Rhimes.
My theory of Anna, which is, it is that thing that Vivian says, I will make you famous. The world will know who you are.
Listen to Inventing Anna, the official podcast on the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm looking over. Oh, speaking of looks, guys, luck has nothing to do with it. It's a lot of hard work and lots of self-standards. And now the top 5 reasons to visit Toronto. Number 5.
College ball gets crazy next week. Grab a Wahlburger and watch every game at the Sideline Bar's video wall.
Number 4.
Fresh Brew Giveaway. Get a coffee code brewer who you earn 500 points on your reward card. The 14th to 15th. Giant McNuggets live April 23rd. Get the tickets now.
And the number 2.
St. Patrick's Day preview. Get a free Shamrock keychain March 17th.
And the number 1.
The next race is coming. 7 different restaurants in one beautiful space for one special price. Coming soon.
Morongo Casino Bar. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Morongo. Good time.
Hey all, it's Gene Sharp. My solar company is Sunlight. And here's yet another reason why. Tesla just released its entire solar ecosystem, and then it went looking for a company that it could trust to get it right. And just like me, Tesla chose Sunlight. Sunlight now has the panels, the patented mounting system, and yes, the Tesla Powerwall battery. It all amounts to the most advanced solar in the industry, and it's all waiting for you at sunlux.com. That's sunlux.com. CSLB 100 each person.
This is David Smith from Service Company's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Stores. When it comes to cleanup and repairs, you might think that all technicians are about the same, aren't they? They go to heating and air conditioning schools, then you show up on your doorstep to service a unit. What could go wrong? Well, a lot. Your heating and cooling system is one of the most advanced appliances in your home. If they aren't 100% active clean, you could be in for a long, expensive ordeal. For service staff, they require 150 hours per year of ongoing training for all of our technicians, regardless of their experience. A 25-year veteran sits in the class twice a week, right alongside a second-year apprentice, so we can service your system like the first time. Call Service Companies today to schedule an $88 precision tune-up. The number is 833-777-7777 or at servicecompanies.com.
Let's talk to William. You're on KFI.
I was considered the largest LSD dealer in Orange County.
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Who would you guess the biggest LSD dealer would call Funk Radio contrary?
The Tim Conway Jr. Show.
Nobody would have guessed.
Weeknight at 6
On KFI. KFI
Let's finish handle on the news with Jennifer and Wayne and me.
The Florida Senate passed a bill to prohibit classroom discussion about sexual orientation or gender identity. They're calling it the Don't Say Gay bill. And you've got Republicans who say that the bill's opponents are nothing but fear-mongering. But you have the opponents of the bill saying that it's vague on purpose, and it's going to the governor's desk. They need to express
Yeah, no problem, Slide. Here's the argument. As K-3, when you talk about any sexuality, and, whether straight, gay, and it doesn't matter. And I think this bill is all-encompassing. It doesn't say you will not talk about gay issues, but you can talk about other sexual issues. I think there's an argument in favor of this bill. Our kindergartners is a little bit too young to hear about sexual orientation and people that are trans and say, well, they're just some people that are different and you go through it. It's a little young. First and second grade, I would think.
I want to know what this is in response to, because does that mean in schools there were discussions of this?
We don't know.
We
don't know.
Is this a bill in response to a reality of something that was happening in the classroom? Or was it not even happening, and yet here's this bill forbidding a thing that wasn't happening anyway? I don't know which case the motivation is kind of suspect.
It depends. I'm trying to think of when my kids asked about sexuality. And I think it was probably 4th grade. Gee, Daddy, where did I come from? I pointed to the Dixie cup and the big chunk of her side on the mantle. That's when they become, well, maybe, not the Dixie cup issue. But that was confusing. For those who may not know, what children listen to for fertilization, where it starts with a Dixie cup. No, but the point I'm making is I'm trying to figure out the age in which they actually ask. Obviously, the other part, though true, is still more of a joke. But, when does the kid, and we talked about this, my wife and I talked about it, when do we introduce sexuality to a kid? And that is, a very good question. So I started explaining them the issue of endometriosis and fallopian tubes and genicular fluid that is around the eggs that they have to retrieve with a pipette. So it's a little bit complicated, and I fell asleep.
I was going to say, I made place over and had to play Barbie.
That's true. There is a advocacy coalition called Stop AAPI Hate, Asian American Pacific Islander Hate, and they have done a survey, and they say based on the results of this survey, they have logged over 10,000 hate incidents targeting Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. And I guess it's getting worse. And those incidents are going up, and then it's interesting though, because they asked it in 2 parts. They said, were you a victim of some kind of hate crime? And then they followed up and said, was it because of your race? And 91.5% of these incidents were reported as being because of the race and ethnicity. Because I guess you could, in theory, be an Asian American and then have a hate crime for some other characteristic. Yes, ethnicity. Ethnicity and race are different. Yes, because one is cultural that you can accept. The other one is what you can't control at all. So in any event, I mean, this just adds to the pile of information that these kinds of incidents are on the rise.
All right, the World Health Organization has pivoted kind of on COVID-19 boosters. See, before it was saying, not that we didn't need the booster shots, they just wanted to make sure that there was vaccination equity around the world. Now it's saying there's plenty of vaccination out there, so now we do want to start offering these areas that maybe we hadn't been able to get the booster shots to the booster shots, and, it's probably most people are going to take them if they can get them here. But before it had just said, hey, we want to make sure everybody gets one before we start handing out more vaccines for the booster.
So my question is, when the inevitability, and there was huge, remember when it first started, I mean, we sent all of the vaccine and sent nothing overseas. Is there now enough globally that anybody who wants a vaccine gets a vaccine?
Apparently so. That is a report that I heard this morning, that there is plenty of it now out there, which is why they were able to reverse their position.
Well, in the Agatha Christie novel of mass mandates, and then there was one, and that was Hawaii, or is Hawaii, but soon there will be none, because on March 26th, Hawaii will be the last state to lift an indoor mask mandate. That, according to the governor, announced yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Not much to say about that.
Russell Wilson going to the Broncos? He's going to be the next Peyton Manning? That's what I want to know. The Seattle Seahawks traded Russell Wilson to the Broncos yesterday. But, I don't know if you guys saw the draft picks that they get. This enormous number of draft picks yesterday. And this is right after the news broke yesterday morning that Aaron Rodgers had re-signed with the Packers a $200 million 4-year deal. The most any NFL player would get in the league. Then you have Russell Wilson going to the Seahawks. Huge day for NFL yesterday.
Yeah, but the Seahawks, I mean, look, Russell Wilson definitely has the potential to be any great quarterback you want to name. So why would Seattle want to get rid of him? Because they got another quarterback. They got Drew Lock. They got a tight end, Noah Fant. They got a defensive lineman, Shelby Harris. 2 first-round draft picks, 2 second-round draft picks, and a 5th-round draft pick.
I mean, that's kind of unheard of. But for a guy of Russell Wilson's caliber, I can see why you've got to give all this up.
The potential, and you're investing. This is a long game, so to speak. And you have to guess right. This is where a coach is, or a manager is going to go, really? That's his career on the line, for sure. Hey, do you remember, Bill, we had an event, station event at a big tall building in downtown LA, and they had a slide. Yeah. That was on the outside of the building. You slid down from one floor to the next, and it was plexiglass, and you went on it. I did. Quite bravely. Well, there's a cruise ship that has a water slide that at one point comes out over the ocean, and a woman got trapped on it.
No.
But it was the transparent part, right? Yeah. So she could actually see. It could be looking stories from 12 stories down. Yes, the sharks are looking up like, please break. I think so. Or on the other hand, you don't feel claustrophobic. 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. Oh, good. Fear of heights or fear of small spaces? Yes. What's your pick? That's true. So she didn't have enough. What happened is she was going down the thing, and then the last turn, she didn't have enough momentum, apparently, to go. And so there she was. Now, she's okay, so thank goodness for that. But, ooh, that seems scary. Coming up, the loss of Russian oil. How are we replacing it, if at all? And what is the influence of Russian oil being taken off the market? This is KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI. KOST HD2. Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Thanks, but no thanks. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The Biden administration has rejected Poland's plan to arm Ukrainian forces with its older model, Russian-made MiG jets. But Vadim Prosenko, Ukraine's ambassador to the UK, tells Sky News the country can use the jets right away.
The best is the older Soviet Union type, like MiG-24.
Ukrainian pilots already know how to fly the Russian-made jets. Vice President Harris will be in Poland today to thank his government for taking in the Ukraine refugees. Governor Newsom has proposed a tax rebate for Californians during high gas prices. In a State of the State address yesterday, he says his proposal in January to pause the gas tax now needs to go farther.
And that's why working with legislative leadership, I'll be submitting a proposal to put money back in the pockets of Californians to address rising gas prices.
Judy Myers, the top Newsom advisor, tells KCLA the governor wants to make sure the money goes to the people.
They're not in the hands of companies who might take advantage of a moment to increase profits.
Newsom says he does not support drilling for more oil. The LA County Sheriff's Department has been asked to investigate a fatal shooting at a baby shower in Hawthorne. People at the party Monday night say 2 men were arguing, one pulled out a gun and shot the other. Deputy Lizette Carlton says officers from the Hawthorne Police Department were called out.
When they arrived, they discovered the victim laying on the ground in the backyard of the location, suffering from several gunshot wounds to his upper body.
The killer took off after the shooting. A man from Tahunga and one from Glendale have been arrested will be sentenced to prison, that is, for hate crimes against people at restaurants in L.A.
Federal prosecutors say the men set out to target those of Turkish descent and those who supported them. The attack happened in November of 2020 after earlier protests in L.A. over Turkey's support of Azerbaijan and its conflict with Armenia. William Stepanian of Glendale was sentenced to 5 years, and Harry Talikian of Tahunga 15 months, both identified as Armenian American. Stepanian had sent a text saying he planned to go hunting for Turks and at one point told people they were going to kill them. The man also caused $20,000 worth of damage to the restaurant. Chief Gregory, Kfi News.
3 people who work for the LAPD have been fired for refusing to get vaccinated against COVID-19. LAPD Assistant Chief Dominic Choi told the Police Commission yesterday termination proceedings are going forward for 7 other employees. 2 groups representing apartment owners have filed court papers in L.A. calling for a stop to enforcement of eviction protections in most of the county.
Apartment Owners Association of California President Jeff Bauer says people are cheating the current system. He says it would be better to extend rent relief funds instead.
Bans are not helpful because it's encouraging fraud, and it's definitely increasing people's debt.
Bauer says right now tenants who don't qualify for a financial hardship with the state can be evicted. He says starting April 1st, landlords can't evict tenants claiming they were financially hit by COVID-19. They also can't fight tenants' self-made claims that they're experiencing a financial hardship. Blake Crowley, KFI News.
The Ventura County Sheriff's Department has found 2 illegal marijuana grow operations. The first was noticed when firefighters put out a small fire at a house in Thousand Oaks yesterday. Deputies arrested 1 man. Another grow operation was found yesterday when narcotics detectives went to investigate a fatal overdose at a home in an unincorporated part of the county. And the LA Cannabis Task Force has released its report for 2021. Officials say they served 317 warrants at illegal cannabis sites and seized 90 guns, $2.1 million in cash, and 258,000 pounds of weed. There were 687 total arrests, 396 were misdemeanors, 291 were felonies. The task force is made up of the LAPD, LA City Fire Department, DWP, and the city's attorney's office. In 2018, there were 300 illegal operations. Last year, there were 87. That is a 71% drop. We'll take a look at your drive on the 5, but first it's Check Sports with Wayne.
There's still no resolution in the Major League Baseball lockout after a marathon 17-hour negotiation session that started yesterday and went into early this morning. Although last night had been set as a deadline by the league, the 2 sides agreed to continue talks, a sign that some progress is being made. In basketball, the Clippers fell to the Golden State Warriors by a score of 112-97. They're back at home to play the Washington Wizards at 7:30 live on AM 570 LA Sports. And the Lakers are at the Houston Rockets at 5. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports. Negotiating Medicare can be overwhelming. MFS usually is. Lots of plans, Medicare plans out there, options, they change every year, and whether you're on Medicare and you have to figure out, do I stay on my plan, do I switch, or you're about to go on Medicare, let me tell you about AGA Medicare options. They help you figure out which is the best plan to either stay on or go to. And AGA MedicareOptions.com, they're offering a free dinner and educational seminar, no enrollments or sales, just don't even bring your checkbook, just bring your appetite. And their agents will advise you on a step-by-step plan that fits your situation, your budget, and it just makes a lot of sense. This is really important stuff. Upcoming events include Mission Viejo, Santa Ana, Irvine, LA. Go online for the full list of dates and locations, or dial pound 250 on your cell and just say the keyword My Medicare. Pound 250 on the cell, say My Medicare, or visit AGAMedicareOptions.com.
Your KFI Financial Report, the Dow is up 640, S&P up 91, NASDAQ up 350, and oh, look what also is up. The average price of a gallon of unleaded gas in California is $5.57. That is up 23 cents from yesterday. Your SoCal weather from KFI, partly cloudy and breezy with a wind advisory in the IE from today until tomorrow morning. Highs will be in the low 60s to the low 70s. Right now it's 45 in Tustin, 46 in La Crescenta. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. Let's get a look at that drive on the 5.
Well, you betcha. Thanks for taking us along for the ride here. This expensive ride, it's using gasoline, Brian. Goodness. But no 5 now. Kind of normal. I hope you allow for this kind of stuff. So, Legion Point and Park, up to about Valley View, the construction area, that last construction area, I should say. After that, it's real good up 605, and then kind of slow to the East LA interchange. Now, we're having some problems around Cerritos. We had calls about problems east and west around the 605. I'll check that all out for you. I'm kind of seeing in the distance. I think there's delays up bigger westbound approaching 605. But
Yeah, boy.
I do want about San Monica Freeway. It's never great, but it's really a stop and stop kind of thing from the East LA interchange all the way out to about Los Angeles before things improve. They caused some problems there, but I had a good look at Washington Boulevard, even with the signals. Culver City Road, the drive Adams on the other side, that looks good as well. And going towards Quebec now, we're still getting word of this. North 5 Lake Hughes, couple lanes blocked there, about a 2-mile backup. But once you get through that, through the crossover, and then up towards Quebec, Coeur Lake, all that, things are pretty good.
More business.
High in the sky.
Brought to you by Light Source Water. Taste and feel the difference. At Lowe's, every pro is an engine feature.
No more. Man, let's try and work this wrong.
If you're a plumber, roofer, electrician, or remodeler, your business earns back in Spanish with exclusive offers and Pro Awards. It all adds up to help drive your business. Join Lowe's MVP Pro Rewards and Partnership Program today. Minimum purchase required. Earnings and Pro Rewards award with Lowe's e-discounts. Exclusive restrictions and more time apply. Valid 12/31/22. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Rewards returns.